welcome back to my channel for Flosstube number 52. If you're new here, this is my little corner of the internet where I talk about my crafting life, mostly about cross stitch. Today, actually, just cross stitch, no knitting or reading. So sorry, but Assassin's Quest is kicking my butt. It's taking me a while to read. So anyway, if you're new here, I talk about everything that I've stitched on a tri-weekly update. Okay, so I did want to take a moment to address the elephant in the room. I did dye my hair. It is a lot darker than normal. It might not appear that way on camera. In person, I still get jump scared every time I look in the mirror. So I am really loving it so far though. My hairstylist I've been seeing since I was a kid and she does an awesome job every time. So I just am obsessed with it. I feel like it makes my eyes look really blue. So that is something that I think I forgot to address when I filmed my intro the first time, so I'm definitely going to include that now. But yeah, so I hope that you'll join me, that you'll like, subscribe, and leave me a comment to say hi. And if you like anything crafty, I hope that you'll find a home here and a community, because everybody in Flosstube is so amazing, and I just have the best time sharing about my crafts with you guys. So today I have so many finishes, I have several whips, and I have finally the ability to share some secret stitching that I did back in January with you. I'm so excited. So let's get into today's update. Today is the middle of February. I think it's the 20th or something like that today. Honestly, who knows? But I am so excited to share everything that I've been stitching in February with you, and let's get into it. Okay, it's finally time to talk about Valentine's Day. And if you know me, you know I am single, and so I'm really talking about Galentine's Day. This year I did a smalls exchange with some of my best stitchy friends. I don't remember whose idea specifically it was to do this way back in August of last year, but Cam of CamtheStitcher found this app called Elfster that allows you to do like essentially a secret Santa, but keep it anonymous to everyone. So there's not one person who has to know everybody's secrets. And so we decided to do a little swap where you got a person and you stitched something for them, which I think is so cool, rather than participating in a swap where you stitch something and you don't quite know who you're going to be giving it to. You can really tailor what you're stitching to them. So I got my friend Rachel in the exchange. Rachel is Lemonade Stitching, and I stitched something for her. So I'll throw it back to past Brijin before I mailed it off to Rachel to tell you about what I made. Hey y'all, it's past Brijin here to tell you about my girly swap. I finished this in the time that I would have been filming Flosstube number 51, but obviously can't really share it yet because my recipient has not gotten it. But whenever I'm inserting this clip, it means we have already shared and had our big Zoom opening and everything. So I'm excited to tell you guys about the one that I made to give away. Now, I got my friend Rachel of Lemonade Stitching here on Flosstube and also over on Instagram. And when I thought of Rachel, I know she loves the color green, she loves vintagey vibes, and she loves fall. So I decided to make Fall into Autumn by Jeanette Douglas Designs for her for the girly swap. So I know it's a Galentine's themed swap, but we're not really stitching in theme, and this is my finish. It's so stinking cute. So I stitched this with all the call for flosses on 36 count Ale linen by Picture This Plus, which is the called for fabric. I do think it came out a little bit darker than I wanted it, but I think it's so cute, and I hope Rachel loves it. So you can see the specialty stitches in there in this row, and this row. And it is just the most adorable little finish. So on 36 count, it was the perfect size. This is a 7-inch square frame that I backed with some fabric, some quilt cotton. And then I mounted the stitched piece onto some mat board, laced it on there, and stuck it onto the fabric. So it gives this like a kind of illusion of framing, of matting, but it's a little bit 3D. And I just think it turned out really good. I hope Rachel loves it, and I cannot wait to send it to her. But I finished this in about 4 days. The specialty stitches took a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it was my snow day stitch here in Texas. We had some icy weather that meant we stayed home from work, and this is what I got done. So yeah, that is my girly swap. I cannot wait for Rachel to find it, to tell you guys about it and not have any more secret stitching that I can't share with you. So anyway, that's Fall into Autumn by Jeanette Douglas, stitched for Rachel. So when we did this small swap, we really wanted to kind of milk the experience. And so we decided to hop on a Zoom call for Galentine's Day and open them on camera together. It was so fun. I'll pop the picture we all took holding our smalls here. I just had the best time. It was so fun keeping the secret, hard keeping the secret, especially when mostly my sounding board for finishing ideas and everything are these people that I can't share my small with, which was so hard. But when we opened them up, we decided to do it kind of popcorn style. So we rolled a dice to see who went first. And then we just kind of like, whoever made the one that the person was opening went next. And it worked really well. I ended up going second, and my friend Cam of CamtheStitcher drew me in the exchange, and she freaking nailed it. So this is what Cam made for me. This is a piece I'd never seen before. She says she saw it on my 1, 2, 3 stitch wish list, and I went and checked, and it is not there, Cam. But it is so me. I don't know how I didn't see this before. This is Me and You by La Di Da. She stitched it on 40 count cream and sugar, which she knows is one of my favorite neutral fabrics. And she did a full cam color conversion for it, which she absolutely knocked out of the park. But the part that made me cry was that somehow she got her hands on some of this fabric right here, which is just a floral fabric, except it is actually part of the Jane Austen at Home collection from Riley Blake several years ago that was modeled after a quilt in Jane Austen's home in England, and it is one of my favorite fabric lines of all time. I don't know if she even knew that when she did this. Maybe she did. She has her ways. But she finished it, oh my gosh, you can see it with the pom-pom trim and the fabric and the frame and this pop of blue. Honestly, this color she did for the words, one of my favorites. But Cam absolutely knocked this one out of the park. It is so beautiful. The frame is perfect, and I did cry when I opened it, and I'm so happy to have a Cam piece in my stash for forever. I think we're going to be doing it again for Friendsgiving, I think is what we decided. So we've got it set so that you'll get a different person, so no one will stitch for the same person. But it was so much fun to pick something out for someone and stitch it with them in mind, with their style. Everybody did so good at picking up everybody's stuff. And I don't think we had any overlap of something someone had already stitched, which is pretty impressive considering, you know, we're a group of 7 that stitch all the time. So I just had the best time with this. I'm so excited the secret is finally out. I don't think we're gonna start until the end of the summer. So we have a few months of not keeping secrets from each other to go, but I was just so touched that my friends know me so well, and I just had the best time with the smalls exchange. Okay, so full disclosure, I did work on my Days of Christmas piece again, but I'm just going to save that for next time when I have like the concrete finish of the 7th day and have started the 8th day. Right now I'm still working through the 7th day. It will probably take me through the end of February. So we're just gonna skip it this time. You guys know what the Days of Christmas look like if you've watched any of my other videos, and we'll come back to it later. Okay, so the first non-secret stitching we'll talk about today is my Secret Garden update. Now this is a piece by Hello from Liz Mathews that I am working with my friend Cam. We're doing monthly sections on this with the intention of having it finished in May of this year, kind of like we did for the Vanity Sampler last year, except we've broken it into 2 pieces instead of 1 year-long project. So this is what it looked like last time. It was sitting at about 30% complete, and my monthly section for February was about 1893 stitches, and I'm happy to report I knocked it out pretty quick. So this is what it's looking like now. I went through and did these big purple flowers here. I filled in these leaves and did some more of these little blue flowers and yellow sparkles. I started this on April 21st of 2024, and I'm stitching it on 40 count Buttermilk linen by Color and Cotton with the called for muted DMC colorway. Liz provided a bright and a muted colorway. This is a Patreon exclusive chart. It has not been fully released yet. And I don't think you can still get it on her Patreon as of right now. So I'm so sorry if you see this and you want to start it. You'll have to wait until Liz fully releases it, which should be sometime in the near future. Okay, so full disclosure, my cat did just jump on the precariously balanced table that I have in front of me and throw everything off of it. So I'm not quite sure where we left off. I think I was talking about Secret Garden and the bloopers for this one, I'll see if it's usable footage, but I think it all stayed on camera. Anyway, I really had a great time working on this. I spent about 3 days working on it. I did go a little bit over my goal. So this is now sitting at 49.2% complete. I've done about 5,327 stitches in total. So just about at the halfway mark. I think I'm like less than 200 stitches away from 50%. So we'll hit the 50% point in March. But I reached a nice clean stopping point and I didn't want to commit to a whole nother motif. And I really like having a nice clean entry, but we are well on our way to being finished in May. So I'll pull this back out again in March to knock out my monthly goal, but so far this one has been a really easy one to keep up with and something that I've been really enjoying working on. I am keeping this in a Taylor Swift project bag from Jasmine Custom Bags that is so fun, and honestly the fabric bag for this one is really nice because it's a chunky floss ring. There are a lot of colors in this puppy, so it needed a project bag that could house a pretty thick ring of bobbins. If you watched my 2025 goals video along with my 2024 finishes that I posted back in January, you will know that one of my goal projects to finish in February was one of my oldest whips, and I honestly wasn't sure if it was going to get done, but I'm so happy to announce that it did. I cannot believe this. This is my Chatelaine. This is Mini Mystery Mandala number 3. And this is what it looked like the last time that you guys saw it. I did not work in this at all in 2024. So it has been in desperate need of some attention. And when I pulled it back out again, I had only really intended to work on it for a little bit. And then I just got a bug and I worked it till it was done. So I'm guesstimating I was somewhere around the halfway point. And I got the finish. Oh my gosh, it is wild how amazing this looks. I stitched this, I started it on May 19th of 2022. So this was one of my 6 remaining 2022 whips that I want to finish this year. And I finished it on February 11th of 2025. I worked on it for about 6 to 7 days to get the finish in, and I stitched it on 28 count mushroom lugana. Gotta say, wild working on 28 count for the first time in so long, but it is absolutely beautiful. I'll take you in close here in just a second, but you can admire the far away for now. I also have a frame that I think will fit this, so I need to actually sit down and frame it. I just didn't quite have time before I filmed today, but this was a absolute labor of love. Chatelaines, if you're not familiar, are very intricate designs that require a lot of beads and sparkles. You can see in the ring light as I shift it. I'll get you in nice and close now. But this is an absolutely stunning piece. I am obsessed with it. My friend Maddie of Kitty Stitch finished this a couple years ago, I think. And I've just kind of been behind in finishing mine. I definitely think this satisfies my Chatelaine itch. I don't know that I really want to work on the big one that I have kitted up, just because it is a lot of work and a lot of mental energy, especially these backstitched vines in here. Those are probably my least favorite part of working this whole chart. And they're not all very even, but you know what? We're close enough. So anyway, super happy to have knocked out one of my oldest whips and something that has been hanging around for honestly too long. But this was honestly pretty fun to work on. I really didn't want to put it down, so I just worked it till it was done, and yay for another beading finish of 2025. This counts as, I think, finish number 4 of the year for me. For the February full moon, I decided to pull out my full moon stitch, which is Dark Golden Delicious by the Artsy Housewife. And I have been really, really enjoying working on this project. This was another one that didn't receive any love in 2024. And working on it in monthly sections, I should be able to get a good bit of progress on this one this year. And I do think, in fact, it was the piece I was working on that was preventing me from really locking in on a full moon stitch, because last time you saw this, this was about 5.1% one of my last few under 10% projects. I only had about 680 stitches done on it. And now I am over the 10% mark, finally. And I've done about 1,400 stitches on it. I did about 700 this full moon for February. And I am so proud of the progress. It is such a fun piece. I'm stitching this on the called for 40 count barnwood by Picture This Plus with all of the called for fancy flosses. It is so bright and so happy, and filling in some of these little motifs has been so much fun to work on. There's only one more of these little flowers for the full height of the piece. So hopefully I can finish out this side border in March for the March full moon. We will see. But this is just so much fun. I really did not want to put it down. I could have worked on this for a long time. I started this on October 25th of 2023 with Lauren, the New Hampshire stitcher. By the way, Lauren, congrats on the new baby. It's so adorable. And yeah, this was one of my saddest starts in my entire whip pile. And through the full moons of 2025, I'm really hoping to kind of turn that around and get some really good progress. And ideally make it all the way to the moon motif, which I think is gonna land somewhere around here. I don't know. But this has been a really fun one to work on, and I can't wait to pull it out again in March. And I'm keeping this one in a project bag from the Pop-Up Stitcher. You can see my big floss ring of everything here. And it's just been so much fun to work on. I really didn't want to put it down, but other things have to get touched in February. Now, also, if you watched my 2025 goals video, you know that I am committed to doing one new start every month for the year of 2025, which is a lot for some people. For me, that is holding myself to a pretty high standard. I have had issues in the past of starting too many things for me, and I've really been loving working on pieces for longer chunks of time. So I want to kind of bring my whip pile a little bit down to work on that, and hopefully limiting my starts this year helps with that. And so my start for February was going to be My Heart's Design by Blackbird Designs. I'm stitching this with my friend Rachel of Lemonade Stitching, and I actually SAF'd it, which stands for Start and Finish. I am so excited. I did a full color conversion for this, and I did film a little video walking through my starting process for a cross stitch that I'll be putting up later. So hopefully you guys can forgive that the piece is already done. But the piece is very green, and I wanted to pull it more blue and pink and kind of do a cooler toned winter palette. So these are the DMCs that I used for my My Heart's Design conversion. Rachel also did a full stash conversion for hers, and it is absolutely stunning. But this is what mine looks like as a finish. So fun. And honestly, doing these little smaller pieces as my starts for each month is really nice because, you know, it alleviates the number of existing whips from 2025 I'm going to have at the end of the year. So always works. I started this on February 14th, so this is my little Valentine's Day start, and I finished it on February 18th, which is actually my parents' anniversary. So from Valentine's Day to their anniversary, this was done. I stitched this on 36 count Vigilant VN linen by Those Missing Stitches, which, by the way, thank you. This was a gift of linen at StitchCon this year, so thank you. I had so much fun working on it. It's a beautiful color and so soft, so really nice to use some of my gift linen from StitchCon. And this like pinky tone, it's very similar to Truffle by Picture This Plus, but a lot softer, honestly. And the tone of it was kind of perfect. I had posted a poll on my Instagram because I was stuck between this fabric and another one. But this one was the winner by about 20% on the Instagram poll. And honestly, you guys were right. The kind of pinky tones really pull well with the blues, and it's just gorgeous. I did make a couple adjustments to the pattern. There are some overone initials scattered throughout the piece, but I took those out and I repeated the crowns down here at the bottom just for a bit more symmetry and to kind of alleviate the need for those initials, because I didn't really have any I wanted to pop into this piece. But I feel like I did kind of capture that wintry pink and blue vibe really well, and it was so much fun to put this conversion together and to just crank this piece out. It's not very big, so the start and finish was a nice way to get another finish for the year in and feel like I'm working on something new and exciting. So that is the final piece that I worked on in between floss tubes, and I just can't wait to have this framed and up. And thank you to Rachel for influencing me to purchase this design and stitch it. So we both finished it in February, which is fantastic to have a stitch along that is started and over in a relatively easy amount of time. So that is it for today's floss tube. I did not do any knitting, any sewing, or any other crafts. I do anticipate having some other crafts to share with you in the near future as I do some sewing in preparation for Nashville Needlework Market in March. I think I'm also going to film a little video going through my Nashville wish list and all the patterns that I'm really excited about getting my hands on when I go. I'm going to be doing a vlog, I think. Fingers crossed. I know I've said that before and haven't really done well on it, so we'll see. But those are kind of some of the things up in the horizon of my channel, which I hope that you will subscribe and stick around for. Additionally, I did want to let you guys know I am going to have some sponsored content come on the channel, which is really exciting for me, and I hope you'll be happy for me. As my channel grows, it gives me more opportunities to do content for you guys and to, you know, really funnel some more back into this channel. So I hope you'll forgive that. It's not going to be every video, but it will be coming down the pipeline. So just be aware. I wanted to give you guys a heads up and let you know that that was coming. And I really am just so excited for what this year is bringing so far and the plans that I have for this channel and for my crafting journey. And I hope that you guys will continue to stick around and follow me with that. So if you've made it to this point in the video, let's go ahead and leave some disco ball emojis because I'm feeling kind of sparkly right now with finishing my chatelaine. And I cannot wait to do some more framing and possibly film a video on that if you guys would be interested. I guess we'll see. I have a lot of video ideas swirling, so I'm trying to kind of slow release them throughout the year and kind of give myself a chance to plan them and execute them to the best of my ability. I don't want to kind of half-ass them, as it were. But yeah, so that is everything for today's video. I will catch you guys in a few weeks with some other content that I have planned. I'm waiting for the last several designers to drop their Nashville releases before I film that little update. And yeah, I will chat with you guys next time. Let me know what you're working on and what you're really excited about in 2025. And I will chat with you guys next time. Bye. But I am absolutely